Welcome inside Raiders Game Day, Raider Nation Week 16 edition. I'm your host, Vince Sapienza, alongside the living legend, Eric Allen, EA. Here we go again. Feels like Groundhog Day. One play away. The Raiders once again fall by a single score, losing on the road on a Christmas Eve special, 13-10 in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
What is the mood right now in terms of the locker room? What's the mood of Raider Nation?
Yeah, another frustrating day for Raider Nation to be in this position, to have a defense that played pretty well the whole day. Think you have this game kind of tied up. You're going to lead from beginning to end, and it's all about those 60 minutes, which we did an outstanding job of last week, playing until the last play. This time, just right off the fingertips. You felt like you want to just pack that seventh win in your back pocket already. But the young rookie, Kenny Pickett, had a really good last drive. Just like we had a last drive last week, he kind of repaid the favor for last week. But just frustrated right now as far as Raider Nation is concerned.
Not a lot of points on the board, but plenty to unpack. Let's look at what's on tap in this jam-packed Week 16 edition show. Full game highlights, as always. We'll chat with Raiders receiver Hunter Renfrow, along with hearing from Josh McDaniels, Derek Carr, and we will look back at what was the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. But we are diving in to the highlights. Obviously, it's Christmas Eve. Everyone feeling
Merry Christmas.
festive. It's football weather in Pittsburgh. The Raiders and the Steelers and the Silver and Black EA were feeling it early.
2-8 Pro Bowler, and this is why he's in the Pro Bowl. Outstanding job here. They got the jump cut, and you're never going to get a great shot on 28. He's always going to continue to move forward at that.
And when we look at this drive, the Raiders were doing everything you would think they wanted to do leading up to this game.
Look at
Making tough yards. Look at DC feeling sprightly.
That's
Look at the
right.
high knees to the outside, getting that first down, the nice little pump fake.
Yeah, to freeze them, right?
I see what you did there. It was nice and chilly over there in
go.
Pittsburgh. But now here, a third and long, and it's El Guapo, Amir Abdullah, doing his thing, getting a first down. And that's really a big momentum burst.
Man, this first drive was just how you draw it up. Outstanding again from Josh McDaniels, throwing in a little screen to the running back, little dump off to the running back, and then here.
You jumped out of your seat on this.
Welcome back, Hunter Renfrow. Third down, outstanding catch. Really good throw here, but look at the juke right here. Stops on the dime, gets in the end zone. That's the Hunter Renfrow we've been missing. So happy he's back.
14 plays, 72 yards on that first drive, and it was hard for me to believe. First touchdown of the season for Hunter Renfrow, but he looked to be back. But then here we go with the Steelers. Late in the first, Najee Harris starts to feel himself a little bit.
You knew it was going to be this kind of game, right? Going back and forth a little bit. But again, you have to find a way. You can bend, but you don't break. And I thought the Raiders in the beginning of the game did a lot of bending, but not breaking.
And I know you were impressed with the zip Kenny Pickett was throwing, had on the ball early on. This leads to a field goal chance, but all of a sudden, 43-yarder push left. The conditions starting to affect the home team.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, man. It wasn't
that bad here in the studio. Nice and warm, but here we go again.
Yeah.
The Steelers running the ball. Where have we heard that before?
And again, I thought when you look at this Raiders football team last week, it really plagued us, not having a good, solid run defense. But today, for the most part, we held them in check. They had some big runs, but they weren't over 100 yards until the last quarter.
And this is what you really like to see if you're Raider Nation. Mad Max doing his thing, causing chaos.
Don't lose the edge.
Pocket.
Don't lose the edge.
Forces a fourth down. Steelers in field goal position. This time Boswell keeps it somewhat straight, down the middle. So it's 7-3 late in the second, but the Raiders are now all of a sudden driving, looking to put some points on the board.
Watch this catch. Oh, man.
That's pretty.
Oh, that's a 360, and yes, it is a first down. It is a first down, D. Waller.
I don't know if I'd call it the Immaculate Reception, but it was pretty.
You're going to squeeze it. This is kind of like a sail route where that tight end trying to get to the edge again. But look at the focus and concentration on 83.
A nice 2-minute drive. The Raiders get on the board to make it 10-3. Daniel Carlson good from 40 yards out.
Who should be in the Pro Bowl.
Should be in the Pro Bowl. So it's 10-3 at the half. And how are you feeling at the half in terms of the Silver and Black?
I'm feeling pretty good if didn't have that baggage from previous games with the lead.
Franco Harris, halftime celebration of life. You could see not a dry eye in the building, and it's been an emotional week for Pittsburgh, their fans, that franchise, but a nice moment at halftime for number 32 in his
Will be missed.
we jump to the second half, and this is where things kind of went off the rails a little bit as far as Raider Nation is concerned. And that defense, Kenny Pickett finding George Pickett right there on Nate Hobbs. They had a nice battle back and forth all night.
Great throw here, great adjustment by the receiver with the back shoulder fade. And pretty good coverage, but better job by the receiver focusing the ball and getting it done.
How about a little Denzel
Hey, let's go!
Another INT on the season for 5-2.
Love it.
This guy, I mean, he's eating up all the picks.
Yes. You love to see this from a linebacker, having the ability to have his eyes on the quarterback, break from that hash underneath that route there. And that's what you want to see from a linebacker. Great eyes on the quarterback, great anticipation, and gets the INT.
And you felt that was a game-changing moment because it was the first drive of the second half, but on the first play, the Raiders on offense, right off the hands of Foster Moreau, a good ball just hit him in the hands and into the waiting arms of the Steelers. And this is kind of where things got a little...
That's a great job by this cornerback, nickelback, keeping his vision on the ball and getting the pick.
And here we go again. It's not a replay. This one's to Hunter Renfrow, goes off his hands and into the arms of Minka over there.
This one, I'm going to say, timing a little bit off. Maybe it broke his route in a little bit too fast, the ball behind him, maybe because they haven't been on the same field for, very long this year.
Neither here nor there, but when we look at this is the play where you sit there and say, okay,
it's done.
Now you're in field goal range. You can make it a 2-score game with about 2 minutes to go, but a face mask penalty right here on Morrow negates a 36-yard Josh Jacobs run.
This just kills because last week we had, I think, 12 or 13 penalties. This week only 2, but this one matters so much because our guy had a huge running play.
So down the distance against the Silver and Black, they get pushed back. They're 3rd and long, and then they go back even further as Highsmith takes down Derek Carr's trying to make a play, looking for someone, can't get away, so they're forced to punt. So here come the Steelers early on in the 4th, and this is kind of, we're going to see this a lot.
Again, we're going to see this on all the highlights, and this is what he does, right? But again, what you're trying to do here is keep him in bounds, make sure he doesn't get a huge run after catch.
Great form. You got to give it to him. Great form from Najee. It leads to another field goal. It's still 10-6.
Yes.
All is still good for the Silver and Black.
You're feeling good defensively.
Under 10 to go in the 4th quarter. Now you just got to take care of business on both sides of the ball. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Kenny Pickett, the young rookie, young legs, a lot of moxie. Making a play, making time. Pat Fryermuth.
Extending the play. You never want a quarterback to throw the ball over the middle, but great adjustment by the receiver, the tight end, to be able to separate from Butler and gets the first down.
And this is just more of the same from Pickett. You just throwing short and letting your playmakers make a play. Najee Harris, another 19, just dragging Raiders defenders. And then on 4th and 1.
This is your play right here.
This is under a minute. I cannot believe this. This is 4th and 1, under a minute to go. The refs have the ability to take as long as they need to look at this play. I need everyone to take a look at this because it looks,
here we go.
with my eyes,
Where's that right knee? That right knee
is down.
And again, we're going to see it.
Across.
They didn't see this as many times as we've seen this right here.
I just don't understand. It was a quick review apparently up in the booth. They said it's a first down, all is good, and then 50 seconds left, 1st and 10. I know you did not like seeing this.
Again, this really hurt my soul. As you see, our cornerback's going to open up like he has outside leverage, so that means that safety needs to squeeze that number 2 or number 3 receiver upfield faster and not be so deep in the end zone. That has to be a coverage bust.
Despite all that, the Raiders still had their opportunity to go down the field, at least tie the game. You talk about opportunities missed.
I mean, you just felt so bad for this team here. You think that ball should be on that right hash, correct? And now he has a chance to run under that. And if it's not a touchdown, it gives us a chance to line up for another couple throws in the end zone.
So that's Carr's 3rd INT of the evening. Here are the final game stats provided by SportsWater. And what jumps out to you? I mean, when you look at these, 6 of 12 on 3rd down, but the Steelers were 5 of 14, both 1 for 1 in the red zone. I mean, what jumps out at you?
Going into the game, we're thinking the weather, the elements were going to be the issue. So those 244 for that young player, Pickett, that's what's jumping out at me. I mean, going to the game, you think this is going to be the coldest game ever. There's going to be wind, so it's going to be a running football game. It's going to be a fast game. But when I see 244, That says a lot about their confidence in Pickett to be able to throw the ball in a tight game where they needed to be able to, get those first downs.
I got to add this because our great statisticians here at Raiders HQ says this is only the fourth time in the Super Bowl era a rookie quarterback found a rookie receiver in the final 2 minutes of game to throw a game-winning touchdown. Kenny Pickett to George Pickens. Tough. Wow. We are not done here on Raiders Game Day. When we return, we are going to hear from Hunter Renfrow. Stay with us.
Raiders Game Day is brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation, made to chill.
Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. Vince Sapienza alongside Eric Allen. The Silver and Black drop another heartbreaker, this one on the road in Pittsburgh. And joining us now in Pittsburgh is Raiders receiver Hunter Renfrow. And Hunter, thanks for taking some time with us here on Raiders Game Day. I know it's been a tough and a long season. The losses, they seem to come down to a play or two. I guess talk to me about the mood and the rhythm of the room right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the NFL. It's not college football where teams are just better and a lot better than other teams. I mean, everyone's pretty even, and it was tough because a lot of people gave a lot out there. I thought we had the right mentality, just couldn't get it done there at the end. So, we got to find a way to start winning these close games.
Hunter is so close to closing in on that 7th win. I tell you, man, just a heartbreaker for us. What were some of the obstacles that you guys had to overcome during the game to not finish out in that 60 minutes?
Yeah, I think, we kind of went on we stumped our foot a little bit there in the middle of the third quarter. I think, Derek threw a great ball and Foster's trying to make a play, and that's unfortunate. And in mine, I could have, got my eyes around a little faster. And so just doing everything we can every play, because you never know which play is going to be the one that changes the game. And then, having the toughness to finish at the end offensively when we have the ball to go get a first down. And so I think, we can do a lot of things together as a team and play complementary, but it starts individually and it starts, on my side of the ball, offense. We got to do a better job.
Hunter, I know you guys obviously wanted to come home with a win, especially on a holiday weekend, but I'm curious, does tomorrow being Christmas, does it almost kind of help you guys be able to reset, knowing you get to go home with friends, family, loved ones, and things like that, and be able to reset maybe a little quicker than normal?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that, all of us played extremely hard, and I don't think anybody cares more than the guys in the locker room about winning and losing. And so we're going to take it tough. But also, it's Christmas tomorrow, and we have a lot to be thankful for and a lot to, these are memories that we're going to remember forever. And so I'm so excited to, wake up with my daughter and my wife. And, it's kind of her first Christmas she has where she knows what's going on. And so, football is extremely important to a lot of us, but I think it gives us a good perspective on there's things outside of football that are awesome.
Hunter, we are thankful for you and what you bring to this football team, and you were incorporated, had 7 targets, had some catch today, the first touchdown of the season. Hopefully you can take that ball and bring it home to the family. How did you feel today being incorporated back into the offense?
Yeah, I mean, I'd been hurt a little bit through the stretch there, and so I just try to help the team win. It doesn't matter if I have 1 catch or 10 catches. I'm just trying to go out there and help in any way I can. And so it was good to feel like I was contributing a little bit, but obviously got to do a little bit more to win.
That is Raiders receiver Hunter Renfrow. Hunter, thanks so much for taking some time here tonight. Safe travels. We will see you back here in Vegas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Welcome back in here to the Cox Studios. Vince Sapienza, Eric Allen, EA. We heard from Hunter Renfrow himself. Offensive guys are going to put it on the offense. Defensive guys are going to put it on the defense. But the defense, I really want to shine a light on them because without Chandler Jones due to an elbow injury and Denzel Perryman with a shoulder, I mean, this defense really played out of their mind.
They did. 3 1/3. I mean, they really did a good job of bending but not breaking, coming up with some big plays, interceptions, some pressures. I thought Cleveland Ferrell, when he came in for Chandler, had some really spectacular plays, had a hurry, had a couple tackles. So this is a team that is dealing with all types of injuries, particularly at the linebacker position. And towards the end of the game, we have two rookies who are playing middle linebackers like Luke and Butler. So this is a team that has some depth, has some experience when it comes down to playing. And, man, we just couldn't close it out. But this was one of those games where if you're a defender, all up until the last drive, you're thinking, man, we played a pretty heck of a football game here, holding this Steelers team to no touchdowns at that point. So, you know, the highlights are going to show some different things on the national media, but this defense has to be proud of the way they bounced back from last week's performance.
And I think that's important because especially when you look at these numbers, you see Najee Harris, you know, that's the guy who makes this offense go, right?
Yeah.
16 carries, 53 yards.
Right.
In a game you knew that the Steelers were going to run with the conditions what they were, the way they were able to hold them. And again, it was a bend don't break till late in the fourth quarter, but there's a lot of momentum to build off this, no?
It always is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be difficult because we didn't win this football game, and the highlights are going to say Pickett with the touchdown. But when you go back and look at this football game, there's a lot to be proud of from this Raiders defense.
All right, we are going to take one quick break here on Raiders Game Day, Week 16 edition. When we return, we're going to hear from Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels. Stay with us.
I know there's going to be time down the road for you guys to kind of look back at this season, but as you stand up there today, when you look at this game and so many others that kind of got lost in a similar ways, how disappointing is that, you know, that obviously you got to tip your cap to the other team, but a lot of it is self-inflicted?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we felt like we were making strides in some areas, and obviously we didn't do that well enough today. Just got to do our job, move on. As much as it sucks, you know, tomorrow you got to get ready for the next one, and that's how it goes. But this one stings.
Was the ball kind of sailing on you? Did you feel like it was getting away from you at times, or how would you describe the conditions and how you're able to overcome them, I guess?
I mean, everyone had to play in them. You know, no matter what, you got to do your job as best you can. And for me, you know, I'm just trying my best to hit my guys, find the open receiver. There were a few that I threw away that were over guys, but I threw them away because of certain reasons and things like that. But I felt good.
Was the running game hard to establish tonight? Do you feel that you guys obviously want to do more with that, I imagine, going in?
Yeah, you know, that's a plan, you know, coming in for a weather, you know, win game like that. And obviously I don't look at any numbers or anything like that, so I can't, you know, say without seeing it. Also, I'm always turning around, so it's hard to put a finger on. But yeah, I mean, anytime you can, in any conditions, run it, it helps with everything. But I thought at times we had some good looks. We had one big one called back, I remember, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was tough.
Derek, you know, when you don't get the job done in the season, they all hurt and they're all disappointing. But there's different ways they all kind of come about. The fact that you guys are a talented team and have been competitive, does that make it sting, you know, just a little bit more than maybe some other years where there might have been a talent issue? Yeah,
of course. You know, we are talented, but talent doesn't mean wins. You know, and I've seen that firsthand. You know, and you know, in different years, and so. You know, when you look at it, you have to watch the film. You can't just throw something out there and say this or that. You have to watch it and know it and see it and make the corrections. And you know, Josh has been doing that. We're doing our best to do that, to make sure as leaders we're pushing everybody to do the same things. And when you fall short, I mean, my heart breaks. You know, I just care so much, and you know, when you don't. You know, do your best. You let your team down, let your organization, your fans down. It hurts. You know, it breaks your heart. But you know, at the end of the day, nobody cares. You get back up and you keep going. You know, that's how we do it.
Josh broke a long run.
That was Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, Vince Sapienza alongside Eric Allen here in the Cox Studios on Raiders Game Day. And EA, obviously, this has been a long season.
Yes,
the losses have been tough. A lot of one-score games. Listening, watching Derek, this one looked like it's really weighing on him in terms
really
of the build of the season.
Yeah, I think from the start it's weighing on him because of the expectations, right, of what this season was supposed to be about. And particularly, if we want to focus on today, there's 4 or 5 throws he wants to have back, it just wasn't on the money today. Just the vibe was not there. I'm not sure if it was the weather or what, but DC is not going to make any excuses. He had to have some of those throws in different places today, particularly on that last one. Even though the pressure's around, he's made those plays. We've seen him so many times make those great plays, extending the ball even earlier in the game. But this was a hard loss for our Raider Nation today.
Raiders fall 13-10 in Pittsburgh. We are not done here on Raiders Game Day. When we return, we'll hear from head coach Josh McDaniels and tell you what the Raiders need moving forward.
This segment has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in.
Yeah. No, it's tough to overcome. You know, if you lose the turnover battle, you're, in this league, most of the time you lose the game. So, our ability to take care of the football, was a strength earlier in the year. It's, obviously we haven't done a very good job of that in the last month or so. We've gotten away with it a little bit, but, tonight, just cost us too many other opportunities to, we didn't have possession of the ball much because we turned it over and, had some negative plays and penalties in the second half, and that kind of hurt our ability to, I'd say, continue to stick runs in there and try to eventually, get something going. We had I think we had the big one, and then it got called back with the penalty. But, yeah, when you turn the ball over and give the other team more opportunities than you have, in good field position, it's impossible to overcome.
Conversely, how much pressure does that put on your defense to keep?
I thought the defense hung in there, and played really pretty well most of the time, most of the game. Tried to hang in there in a running game. It's a tough team, physical group, good runner. We gave up a few plays here and there, but I thought they hung in there for the most part. And then tried to make it as tough as we could on the quarterback. And he's a good young player. And eventually, reality is given too many chances. With the score right there in the balance, and ultimately. Guys in this league are going to find a way to win, and that's what happened.
I know there's going to be days down the road where you could look back.
Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels following the 13-10 loss in Pittsburgh. The Raiders' postseason hopes not quite done yet. They're going to need for the Chargers and the Dolphins, both of them to lose this weekend, and then it's on to San Francisco at home, Allegiant Stadium. That is going to do it for us here on Raiders Game Day. Eric Allen, Vince Sapienza, thanks for joining us.